Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rick Martin, Director of Communications and Community Relations for the Douglas County Board of Commissioners. And I am humbled and honored to serve as your host and master of ceremonies for today's swearing in for Fire Chief Roderick B. Jolivette. At this time, we would like to take this opportunity to recognize all of our elected officials that are in the room. Would you please kindly stand? And I would kindly like to ask all to give these hard-working elected officials a round of applause, please. And now, at this time, I would like all, and I invite all, to kindly please stand for the procession, followed by the presentation of colors by the Atlanta Fire Rescue Department Honor Guard, and jointly the Douglas County Fire and EMS Honor Guard, and remain standing for the national anthem led by Ms. Antavia Williams, the Pledge of Allegiance by yours truly, and the invocation by Pastor Dr. Edwin Ford. I'd like to invite Ms. Antavia Williams to please deliver the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Order. Pause. Ready, cut. Left. Walk high, hard. Go work, hard.
Good afternoon, everyone. In reverence, as we go before the Lord in prayer, if you would bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we come boldly before your throne of grace on this day, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in this most momentous moment. We're gathered together from all walks of life, yet we are here now in unity, for we share the same goals. Father God, we ask you today humbly that you will seal this occasion with your blessing. Will you please allow your amazing grace to abound, that we may sense anew the great privilege and responsibility being bestowed upon this most honorable Chief Roderick B. Jolivette. May you continue to extend your hand of favor upon the leadership of this great county and its citizens in our homes and in this community at large. Grant Chief Jolivette the wisdom, the vision, and the courage to lead this Douglas County Fire Department. Father, we understand that we can do nothing without you, but we also know we can do all things with you. We take this time to invite your divine presence to intervene and bring good success to the administration of Chief Jolivette. Lord, superimpose your will over the will against anyone that will seek to hinder the advancement of his office. Anoint our chief today with the ability, assets, and acumen needed to safely protect and defend the citizens of this county from all the perils of fire may bring. Make at this time at his disposal everything he needs to fulfill this mandate before him. Then, when he is called to duty, God, wherever flames may rage, give him and his staff the strength to save a life, whatever be its age. Father, we pray as Jabez prays in the Bible, bless him indeed, enlarge his territory. Let your hand be good upon him. Keep him from evil, that it will cause him no pain. And for these and all our many blessings we ask before you, we say amen, amen, and amen. God bless you, Chief.
Yes, that's right. You all may be seated. Thank you to the Atlanta Fire Rescue Department Honor Guard and Douglas County Honor Guard, Ms. Antavia Williams, and Pastor Dr. Edwin Ford. And now I'm delighted to introduce to you Dr. Ramona Jackson Jones, Chairwoman of the Douglas County Board of Commissioners, who will formally welcome you to the ceremony. Then we'll have remarks following that.
Good afternoon to everyone. I would like to take the time to personally recognize my fellow Board of Commissioners. Certainly in the audience, we have Vice Chairman and District 2 Commissioner Kelly G. Robinson. Would you please stand? We have, I will acknowledge District 1 Commissioner Henry Mitchell III. He's not in the audience, but I want to recognize him as well. We have also with us District 3 Commissioner Terenia Carthen, if you would please stand. Thank you so much. District 4 Commissioner Ann Jones Guider, please stand. And also our Douglasville Mayor Rochelle Robinson, please stand. Thank you so much. And you may be seated. Just wanted to recognize you and praise you today for just being here with me on this moment. I would like to also recognize all the other elected officials in the room, our appointed officials, the clergy, the family and guests, but last but not least, the first responders. Thank you, retired Fire Chief Scott Spencer, for being here today. If you would please stand, I want to recognize you and give you appreciation for your service. Let's give him a hand. Thank you so much, Chief Scott Spencer. I would like to begin with a motivational quote I once read during our search for the next fire chief. Teamwork divides the task and multiplies the success. That was the vision I had for the next fire chief. And when we hired Chief Jolivette, one of the first things he did was create an executive staff. I call the executive staff my dream team. Chief Jolivette made my vision a reality. Today, we will bring together a great tradition as the fire department has done for many years past. We welcome all of you for being here, standing firm and showing support of our new fire chief of the Douglas County Fire Department. New equipment is arriving thanks to our citizens through SPLOST. New responsibilities will be carried out with great challenges that lie ahead. The work ahead may be demanding and complex, but I believe by the sight of all I see among the first responders today, Fire Chief Jolivette will be all right. Change is inevitable. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not so good, but today is a good day. Thank you, Fire Chief Roderick Jolivette. Douglas County represents strength, growth, and family all in one. As we continue to celebrate the achievements of African Americans during Black History Month, today, February 17th, marks one day that will be in the history books for Douglas County. Douglas County welcomes the first African American fire chief in this county's history. Fire Chief Jolivette, please stand so we could just applaud you, please. So again, it is my pleasure to welcome you to this afternoon's historical event of the swearing in and the ceremony of Chief Roderick B. Jolivette. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chairwoman Jones. At this moment, I'd like to invite Vice Chair and District 2 Commissioner Kelly G. Robinson to make a few remarks, please.
Yeah. Good afternoon. All right, I'll be very brief. Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you all for being here. This is a special occasion, and it's one in which I tend to be a voice for the citizens. I appreciate the room of honor that's here. But let me give you just a brief story of what this means to me. If we talk about these firsts and honors and responsibility, because this is from one generation to the next, one administration to the next. It's from the past to the future. Chief Spencer, you need to hear this story. Here I am in the Board of Commissioners meeting about 8 years ago. And I don't know what happened. I'm sitting there with the prior chair and vice chair at that time. And whatever happens, I stand up in the middle of a meeting, in the middle of a moment, in the Board of Commissioners room. My heart is, Tom and Mike look at me like, you okay? I'm silent. I walk out the Board of Commissioners, at the boardroom. Everybody's stunned. And I pass out in the most excruciating pain. Chief Spencer, Jason Milholland, rescued me, saved me, saved my life. That's important. Saved my life on the spot. It got me on the front page of the papers. I'm apologizing to Chairwoman. I'm sorry I messed up your meeting. But yet at the same point, it's like, that's great that I get it. You responded to me so swiftly and so quickly. But on behalf of my citizens, when I'm telling them I was coming here, that, well, Mr. Robinson, who is this new chief? Will he do the same thing for us? That's my challenge. Take care of the people. Please serve the people. Rescue them. It's a name of honor, respect. They deserve it. Me, I can take this off. No, it's about the citizens, and I know you got it. I know we picked you for a reason. The first, yeah, it's great to be the first. I'm always about do the job. Serve the people. I know you've got it. Chief, you've got it. From one chief to the next, it's a good touch. Chief Spencer, thank you. Chief Jolivette, carry it forward. No, that's a standard now. Don't get it wrong. Chief Spencer, family, it's a standard. Chief, you're gonna take this thing for the next 150 years, and I appreciate that. So with that being said, I just want to thank you. I can't go long. This is not a political moment. So I want to thank you so much for allowing me to speak, but also to speak to, yeah, with honor, there is responsibility. And I just ask that you give that, when I hear of a fire chief and that spirit says, okay, you're going to save us. You can do all you can to preserve us, to rescue us. I get the administration. No, man, it's that guy that comes through that glory and is there to preserve us. We lift up hope for the family, lift up hope for the county. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. That's all I got. Thank you.
That's a story many of us have never heard of. Please, for sharing that, let's give him another round of applause. Vice Chair Robinson. I'd like to invite Ms. Terenia Carthen, Commissioner of District 3, for brief remarks, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Terenia Carthen, District 3 Commissioner. I'm very proud to welcome Chief Jolivette, not only Chief Jolivette, but his entire family. Like Madam Chair said, Chief Jolivette came in with a mission. He had a 100-day plan that he sat down personally with me and went over. He is the epitome of what you call excellence, and he goes above and beyond. I think it is divine appointment that our prior chief, Chief Spencer, was a man of faith, and that our current chief, Chief Jolivette, is a man of faith. And with that, we as a county can't go wrong. Congratulations, Chief Jolivette.
Thank you, Madam Carthen. I'd like to invite District 4 Commissioner Ann Jones-Guider, please.
It's my honor to be here. I thought you were sworn in a year ago. Have you been illegal all this time? I'm just teasing. But you hit the road going. I mean, 90 to nothing. I can just imagine what your wife puts up with. But everywhere I went, and I go a lot of places because of my position, he was there. He even came to my town hall to face the constituents that had issues. But you walked in with a very deficit in personnel, but no blame anywhere. The pandemic had a lot to do with it. And we were in competition with everybody. And of course, everybody in a uniform today has been vilified. So, that plays a lot too. But I almost didn't come today. I'm nursing this cold. As you can see, I'm talking out of my nose. But a year ago from tomorrow, my husband passed away. I had just met you, but I remember you were there at the service, decked out in his uniform, not only representing you, but the whole fire department EMS. So I just certainly appreciate that. It was during the pandemic, so a lot of people were afraid to get out, but there you were, and I'll never forget that. And so I told myself today, you're going to go honor him the way he honored you. So I thank you for your service. I look forward to working with you on the Fire and EMS Committee. And I look forward to meeting a lot of new people because you're recruiting as we're speaking. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I follow instructions, and I know it's between me and a few other folks before we can eat, so I'm going to make it quick. My name is Rochelle Robinson. I'm mayor of the city of Douglasville. I am so excited to be here and welcome you to the city of Douglasville and to our conference center. I want to give honor where honor is due. It's so exciting to see you, Chief Jolivette. I'm just bubbling over with joy. So very, very elated and happy that you and your family are here and that you've brought this administration. Now, I've only been here 27 years, and I say that because in Douglasville, Douglas County, when you're like under 50 years of being here, you're still new. And so I'm new, but in the 27 years that I was here, Chief, we only had one chief, and that was my friend, Chief Scott Spencer. And so I thank him, and see what I'm saying is we don't get rid of our chiefs very often if you're doing a wonderful job. And so I think you have many, many years to go. We understand that this is a race, and it is a marathon, and we're passing the baton, a relay race and not a sprint. And so I know you've taken the baton from Chief Spencer and continuing to run. Thank you for your vision that you have for the community and how you are really ingratiating yourself into the community with community events, carrying on that tradition of loving the community and showing respect. I'm very happy that we have 2 fire stations within the city limits. We're proud of those stations, especially station number 10 right here in downtown with the big ladders. And I'll tell you from a personal standpoint, Chief Spencer has been wonderful, but that spirit has carried on to Chief Jolivette. And Chief Jolivette is hiring new people and helping them to come in. He has this vision, you see, a vision of not only having firefighters, but EMT and paramedics, and trying to wrap that all around in one ball. And it's more than just getting cats out of the tree and all of that. And I've learned that through my son, who is now one of the recruits in the fire department. He's going through his EMS. I never understood about aspirations and 14 hours in the ambulance and all of that, but we are so excited, our one and only son in this new class. And so I thank the deputy chiefs and chief and all the staff. And if he gets out of, kick him in the shins, he's a little spoiled. That one and only 6'2" boy, but they're looking over there at each other like, yeah, he's spoiled. But we appreciate that, my husband and I. So thank you so much. Welcome, Chief Jolivette, and seamen coming from an Army veteran to this will defend. But I know you said, I'm still running, and we haven't just begun to fight. Thank you so much. God bless you and welcome.
So I understand we have another selection from Ms. Antavia Williams. If I'd like to invite Ms. Williams again to come to the microphone. It's a joy to be here, and it's a joy I don't often get a chance to wear the colors of the Douglas County Fire Department logo. So thank you. I'm wearing my red tie because of you. Yes. Mrs. Williams.
There's a hero. If you look inside your heart, you don't have to be afraid of what you are. There's an answer. If you reach into your soul, and the sorrow that you know will melt away. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on. And you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth, that a hero lies in you. It's a long road when you face the world alone. No one reaches out a hand for you to hold. You can find love if you search within yourself, and the emptiness you felt will disappear. 'Cause when the hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth, that a hero lies in you. Oh, Lord knows dreams are hard to follow, but don't let anyone tear them away. Yeah. Hold on, there will be tomorrow. In time, you'll find a way. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong. And when you finally see the truth, that a hero lies in you. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, Chief, just for you. Let's give another round of applause, please, for Miss Antavia Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, and now for today's keynote speaker. Mr. Randall B. Slaughter is no stranger to the fire service. After recently retiring as the fire chief for the city of Atlanta, as the chief executive in the Atlanta Fire Rescue Department, he played a key role in the planning and execution of major events which were hosted by the city of Atlanta, such as Super Bowl VII, NCAA Final Four basketball tournaments, NCAA championship football games, major 5K road races, as well as international conferences. Mr. Slaughter not only served to protect the city of Atlanta from fires as fire chief, but Mr. Slaughter himself served to protect his country, our country, as a United States Marine Corps reservist for 9 years. Chief Slaughter holds a Bachelor of Science in Policy Studies degree from Georgia State University and a Master of Science in Public Administration from Columbus State University. He is also a graduate of the prestigious Executive Fire Officer Program at the National Fire Academy, as well as a 2020 graduate of Leadership Atlanta. Chief Slaughter now spends his days working as a consultant for his very own company, RBS Slaughter LLC, doing speaking engagements and serving as an executive coach for young, aspiring executives. Without further ado, please put your hands together for Chief Randall B. Slaughter.
Well, good afternoon. Come on, Douglas County, it's a celebration. Let's try this again. Good afternoon. All right. Madam Mayor, distinguished members of the Douglas County Commission, retired fire chief and long-term friend, Scott Spencer, other fire chiefs who are in attendance. Let me take a moment to recognize those fire chiefs. If you would, please stand. Active or retired. Thank you, Chief. Some of those chiefs traveled long distances to be here. I can tell you, Chief Jolly has a lot of support around the country. Thank you for being here, chiefs. Members of the Jolivette family, all members of the Douglas County Fire Department, and other invited guests. It is indeed an honor to come before you today to say a few words about my long-term friend, Roderick B. Jolivette, affectionately known by those in the business as Chief Jolly. Again, I am Randall Slaughter, recently retired fire chief after 31 years of service for the city of Atlanta. When I was first asked to say a few words about Chief Jolly, my first question was, how long do I have? The young lady said, well, Chief, keep it to about 10 minutes. And I said to myself, now that is going to be hard. See, when you have a man, you have a fire chief, a military man, a family man, as decorated and as accomplished as Chief Jolly, it's hard to keep your comments to just 10 minutes. But I will try to follow protocol as the mayor indicated earlier. I think about one time at my church, we had a guest speaker, a Southern Baptist preacher. And my pastor told him, he said, sir, we are honored to have you here today, but please recognize the 5 B's. Guest speaker looked a little perplexed. Pastor went on to clarify the 5 B's. Be brief, brother, be brief. And so out of respect for your schedules and protocol, I promise you I will remember the 5 B's. I first met Chief Jolly in the early 90s, as he and I were regular attendees at the Georgia Fire Service Training Center in Forsyth, Georgia. He and I both had a quest for fire service knowledge and frequently ended up alongside each other in the classroom. We took everything from fireground strategy and tactics to hazardous materials to building construction. Many times back then, the limited class sizes and limited number of instructors would cause one to be denied admittance to a class. A couple of times that happened to me, and I asked the registrar, I said, "What happened?" And she would tell me, "Chief Jolivette got the last seat." Years and several promotions later, we would meet again at the Learning Resources Center at the National Fire Academy in Emmitsburg, Maryland. We were both amazed, but not surprised, that during our time of lost contact, each had ended up as the fire chief. Going back to our days of serving as line firefighters, Chief Jolly has always been a man of integrity, hard work, and servant leadership. He has always been a selfless leader who places mission and his firefighters over himself. I would like to take a few moments and describe to you a few characteristics of a great fire chief. And I believe Chief Jolly possessed all of these characteristics. Above all, the safety of his or her firefighters must be priority number one. I was once told by an older fire chief and mentor of mine, "You are not ready to be fire chief until you care about the firefighters' safety even more than they do." Firefighters' families and loved ones are dependent upon the fire chief to do everything in his or her power to ensure that their firefighter arrives back home safely after a tour of duty. I remember a time after a fire in a long abandoned house. I was admonishing a crew for their reckless and unsafe behavior while on scene. The crew's newly promoted lieutenant stood up in a macho kind of way and said, "Chief, it would have been all right if we had died in that abandoned house, because at least we would have died doing what we love to do." While I understood the bravado and need to look heroic in front of his men, I thought that was one of the most selfish things that I had ever heard. Especially when I thought about his 2-year-old daughter growing up and living without a father, or his new fiance burying the love of her life. Yes, we will risk a lot to save a lot. And I mean the life of someone else. But a great fire chief will not allow his or her firefighters to take unreasonable risk with their lives when there is no significant reward, meaning there is no chance to save another life. He or she knows that the safety of his or her firefighters means a lot to a lot of people, seen as well as unseen. Number two, A great fire chief must be able to see the big picture. It is very easy to fall victim to focusing on the minor or minute details of the day-to-day operation. However, a great fire chief must be able to step away and see the big picture of what is going on and cast a vision which will guide the organization into a brighter future. In other words, a great fire chief does not major in the minors. Next, don't play favorites. It is okay to like some people more than others. In fact, it is human nature to feel more comfortable around people who share similar likes and dislikes and have the same passions as one may have. However, it is absolutely not okay to allow those feelings to guide your judgment when making personnel decisions on behalf of the organization. A great fire chief has learned to separate his or her personal feelings and biases from decisions which must be made on behalf of the organization. And lastly, be loyal. A great fire chief must remain loyal to his or her family, his or her administration, his or her firefighters, his or her community, and most of all, his or her organizational mission. Firefighter safety is priority number one. See the big picture. Don't play favorites. Be loyal. Less than 4% of members who enter the fire service ever obtain the rank of fire chief. When asked how does this occur, my answer was always simple, as I reflected on an old African proverb. If you see a turtle resting on a fence post, rest assured he did not get there alone. Chief Jolly was one of those people who helped me as I ascended the ranks, as I am sure he has had a lot of help and support as well. I am going to encourage you to continue to lend him your support, your advice, your love, and your prayers. He will need all of it. Today is a day of celebration, but the real work begins tomorrow. Being fire chief can be a lonely space. Difficult decisions will at times have to be made, some of which may not be very popular. But I ask that you trust the chief's leadership. Trust that he is making decisions not for the benefit and comfort of himself, but for the betterment of the citizens and visitors of Douglas County, as well as the betterment and safety of the brave men and women of the Douglas County Fire Service. Thank you all so much for allowing me this opportunity to speak, and congratulations, Big Chief.
Let's give Chief Slaughter another round of applause, please, for his remarks. Now, at this time, we are getting ready for the commencement of the change of command portion of the ceremony. Participating in this, so everyone knows, retired Fire Chief Scott E. Spencer, Fire Chief Roderick B. Jolivette, and members of the executive staff, honor guard, along with Angel Kreider, firefighter 2, paramedic. The fire department oath of office will now follow the change of command. I'd like to welcome Douglas County Judicial Superior Court Chief Judge William H. McLean. Who will deliver the oath of office.
Chief, as the Chief Judge of the Superior Court of Douglas County, and on behalf of the Douglas County judicial system, I first of all want to welcome you to Douglas County and tell you how much we appreciate you and look forward to many years of a strong working relationship with you. It's not a coincidence, I think, that right now I'm engaged in a murder trial. And this morning, I heard testimony from a Douglas County deputy sheriff and a Douglas County paramedic who responded to a scene where a man was dying. And they held his life in their hands, and they ministered to him, and they took care of him. And we know that you will take care of the men and women under your command, and that you will also take care of us. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States of America, the state of Georgia, and the ordinances of Douglas County, Georgia. Also swear or affirm that I shall faithfully perform and discharge the duties assigned to me as firefighter, EMT, paramedic, and chief of the Douglas County Fire Department to the best of my abilities, without malice or partiality, and will uphold the rules and regulations of the Douglas County Fire Department. I further swear or affirm that I will represent Douglas County and the Douglas County Fire Department in accordance with the highest professional standards, and will perform no act that will bring discredit to its name. So help me God. Congratulations, Chief Jolivette.
To help those understand what's going on right now, what we have underway is the pinning ceremony for Chief Roderick B. Jolivette. Those taking part, members of his family, Roderick B. Jolivette Jr., Roderick B. Jolivette III, and John Thomas Johnson. We're talking about 4 generations of Jolivettes.
Testing. First of all, as my family come down, take their seats, I'd like to say a few things. You'll come on down. Now watch your step. Like the mayor said, only thing standing between the food and me, us is me. I'm gonna try to be real brief. As I come down, I'd like to thank the Lord for everything he's done for me and for everybody in this room. No cross, no crown. My executive team, I want to command you all to do something. I want to command y'all to keep time and give me 5 minutes. Now, if I said I want to demand for them to do it, they would have given me 2 minutes and told me to sit down. I'm saying command, so they might give me 6 minutes. Then I'll sit down. But y'all can take your seats. Y'all have done a great job. Take it. Chief Spencer, thank you, sir. Thank you. I just want to say a few things. First of all, we can't do anything without recognizing where we came from. When I say where we came from, I'm talking about Douglas County. When it started, when Douglas County Fire Department started, I was 12 years old. And I had no idea that I'd be standing here 10 years later. Am I 22? I had no idea I'd be standing here speaking to friends, family, and everything. But Miss Dale Arrington, are you in the building? Can you please stand? Y'all give Miss Dale a hand clap. Miss Dale, first of all, am I from Winston? Sheriff Pounds? With Sheriff Pounds, and he always, well, Sheriff Pounds is from Winston, the chief of police from Winston, and every time he goes somewhere, I say, am I from Winston? He said, no way, no chance. But anyway, Chief Arrington was the first fire chief, and after talking with his wife, he formed the paid fire department back in 1975. And she told me as he went around and did hydrants and did buildings, and he started to build something that we're still standing on. And I always say, I talk about this patch right here. I talk about the patch because the patch is our community. The patch is our internal stakeholders, our external stakeholders. It's what we stand for. I don't say it's my patch. We always say it's the patch. So we have a great responsibility. And before I get started, how many minutes I have left, Executive? It's always one in the bunch, it always. But what I'm gonna say is, I'm gonna start with our legislators. Everything that we've done, we could not have done it without a strong legislative body, leadership team. And I want to get in and applaud. We have our Chairwoman, Ramona Jackson-Jones. Her leadership, her vision. But one thing that stood out from our Chairwoman is the unification of all of Douglas County. And that stuck out to me. That really stuck out to me. And our Vice Chair, give him a hand, please. Kelly Robinson. One thing that stuck out with me with Commissioner Robinson is quality of life for Douglas County through economic development, through industry, looking at the future. And that goes hand in hand with our mission. Okay, Commissioner Mitchell, Henry Mitchell is not here today, but we do have somebody here. One thing he said was, it's not about the position, it's about the obstacles that one go through to reach success. It's about the obstacles. Keep going. The other thing I want to say is Commissioner Carthen, Terenia Carthen. I've learned courage, commitment, strength, and all those qualities that have helped me to do the job that we're doing. And then Commissioner Jones-Guider. She has been tremendous in supporting the fire department, supporting the community, supporting the constituents. And I just thank them for allowing me to serve. And I just want to give y'all another hand myself. Thank y'all. We can't do anything without a strong executive team. Now, our legislative team. Now, our executives, our Deputy County Administrator, Fred Perry, are you here? We have Assistant County Administrator, Tiffany Stewart Stanley. These are the people that make sure we get what we need. And I just want to thank them too, as well, our executive team. Okay, now, everybody that's out here in the audience, I said no cross, no crown. In order to get a crown, you got to have some crosses. In order to have crosses, you will have support, like Chief Slaughter said, somebody help you carry those crosses. And everybody in this room have helped me carry crosses, carry my cross. So therefore, my crown is a shared crown. That's why I came down to share my crown, because like Commissioner Robinson said, it's all about the people, taking care of the people. And that's what I want to do. And I have my leadership team. I'm in leadership, Douglas, and y'all please stand. These are the leadership team for Douglas County. Give them a hand. And they help me carry my cross, because sometimes I be running late. And I blame it on, I said, maybe Chief had a cold. Well, anyway, I thank y'all. I have my church family here. My church family, can you stand, from Albany? They've been putting up with me since I was born. And the gentleman's raising his hand there. His wife used to always tell me, the Lord's in charge. I said, I'm in trouble. She said, the Lord's in charge. My cousins, but first thing I really want to do is thank the first responders. That should have been the first thing I said, our first responders, because right now, the first responders and their families are the ones who are protecting us. They're out there in the field, they're protecting us. Our 911 center, raise your hand back there. They are the first responders. And then my family. I always put my family first. I remember the Bible, the first shall be what? Last, and the last shall be first. My dear wife, 32 years. Now, I'm not going to tell y'all what she say about the fire department, but she will tell you I work 7 days a week. And she will tell you that, but I love the fire department. I love the community. I love my son, my grandson. I love everybody in this building right now, but how much time I have? 1 minute, all right. Sound like the man is hungry, don't it? I'm gonna say this, our mission is what we stand for. And we have recently updated our mission to put love in there. And we talk about leadership. We talk about opportunity through diversity, opportunity through inclusion, all those things. And then we talk about being versatility. How are we going to manage in a changing environment? And as we know, there's a changing environment. And then we talk about education, placing high values on education and succession planning. Now, we do have some city commissioners here today. City commissioners of Douglas County, city commissioners of all over. Can you please raise your hand? Never leave out our elected officials. City commissioners, Sheriff Pounds. And also, I like to say in closing, we have the mayor of Billerica, Gil McDougal. He's not here today. He said he would really want to be here, but he had another appointment coming up. And we have the mayor of Austell. Thank you, I'm getting old. Ollie Clemens, he's not here today. Is he here today? He's not here today because of different scheduling. And then we have, of course, my dear Mayor, Rochelle Robinson. So I like to say, I'm lost for words. We do have a lot of people in the building. We want y'all to mix and mingle. We do practice the CDC guidelines and social distancing. We do have some food back here for everybody. Who's hungry? Raise your hand. We do have hot dogs and hamburgers, so enjoy yourself. We're out of mustard and ketchup, but thank you, Chief. Thank you all the chiefs that came, Chief from DeKalb County, Chief from Coweta, Chief from Augusta, all over the place. Thank you all, and I promise to do all I can to take care of our fire family and our community. Thank you all.
I'd like to invite Chairwoman Dr. Ramona Jackson-Jones, also Assistant County Administrator Tiffany Stewart-Stanley, members of Representative David Scott's office, as well as United States Senator Raphael Warnock's office, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tiffany Stewart Stanley, the Assistant County Administrator for Douglas County. And thank you guys so much for being here today. Douglas County is very fortunate to have supportive congressional partners, and we're lucky to have representation from their offices with us here today for special presentations for our Fire Chief, Chief Roderick Jolivette. So our first presentation will be from Mr. Isaac Dedeaux and Angie Story from U.S. Congressman David Scott's office of the 13th Congressional District.
Hello, Chief. Today is your day. And Congressman sent us here to make sure you receive this, because your journey is going to be tough, but we love you. And we are praying with you. So he sent this certificate of special congressional recognition presented to you. Fire Chief Roderick Jolivette, on this day, signed by David Scott.
Our next presentation will be from Mr. Perrin Bostic from U.S. Senator Raphael Warnock's office. Mr. Bostic.
Chief Jolivette, is it an honor to be here to recognize you. Your rise to leadership as it symbolizes for many what can be achieved unburdened by the past. You're the first, but you're not going to be the last. And I have a letter from Senator Warnock. It says, "Dear Chief Jolivette, as a senator representing the great state of Georgia, it is an honor to congratulate you on your appointment to serve as the Chief of Fire and Emergency Medical Services for Douglas County. I want to thank you for answering the call to serve your community. I am proud of you, and I encourage you to continue to strive for excellence. We need more leaders, and you are truly leading by example. Please know that I wish you success in your efforts to protect and serve the people of Douglas County. Keep the faith. Reverend Raphael Warnock, United States Senator."
All right. Chief, once again, this is the day that the Lord has made, and on behalf of the Douglas County Board of Commissioners, we wanted to extend our heartfelt appreciation for everything you've done thus far, and we know that you will do as you go forward. You have hit the ground running, and we're so proud. Chief told me 30 days, and he did it in 30 days. He didn't say 100. I know Commissioner Carter said 100. He said 30, and I've said he has made a believer out of me, so congratulations, and this is a certificate of appreciation on behalf of the Douglas County Board of Commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's give them a round of applause, please.
Trust me, it's my last time saying anything. Young man, come forward, please. This is your first captain. Come forward, please. Who in here is I was the first captain? Come forward, Assistant Chief. Y'all give Assistant Chief of Jordan a hand. He done got beside himself now. I was his first captain back in 1992. He started at the fire department. He came in, he was shaking like a leaf. He didn't know what to do. He said, "Captain, what do I do?" I say, "Follow me." Well, the first call I went to, tell him what happened. What happened to the first call? You don't forget now, you're getting old. Now, what happened to the first call I went to?
I think we, was that the one we got blown up? No, that was the one.
We
14 Dorset Avenue.
914, I took him on a call, and before we got out, the building blew up. The roof, the part of the roof went in the front yard, part went in the backyard. He stumbled out. And one guy came out and said, "I think they shooting at us." He said, "No, they ain't shooting at us. I think we just got blown up." But he's an assistant chief in Albany, and he how many years you got in the fire service now?
30 years.
30 years of January. He made 30 years, and he's up and coming. One thing about him, he always stood by me since day one. And he always corrected me when I was wrong, Stacy. I said, let's do this. He said, Chief, I don't think we need to do that. Or Captain, I don't think we need to do this. So anyway, I just wanted to acknowledge him. This is true leadership. And also he helped make the movie Fireproof. We all did. But anyway, I just want to acknowledge him. Thank you for coming so far down. I'm still your first captain.
Sheriff Pounds is here to get a picture. Absolutely. When the sheriff speaks, we listen, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are almost done. We are almost done. Absolutely. What I wanted to say, the dying question for everyone. When Fire Chief joined us last year in 2021, January 2021, why did it take so long for him to be sworn in? Very easy, a pandemic. When he arrived, we were in the middle of the pandemic. We also had Delta, then Omicron. I mean, so again, as fire chief, he was looking after the fire service, make sure they were safe, and make sure the citizens of Douglas County were safe. So thank you. As we conclude today's event, it has been a pleasure to be your master of ceremony. Thank you for coming, and we would like to invite Fire Chief and his family to be the first table to go ahead and head down on that side, the left side, for a buffet, followed by our Board of Commissioners, executive staff. This concludes today's event. Thank you all for coming and enjoying.